I see all these influencers online. Almonds बुरे हैं मत खाओ, cashews मत खाओ toxic है, spinach मत खाओ toxic है, carrot toxic है.
But meat is not toxic.
But meat is not toxic. Meat is healthy.
Yeah. I've always been a dog lover. My son actually opened my eyes and said, Ai, you can't say you love flesh and eat a chicken. It's a matter of accepting. Ki nahi yaar. Shayad I'm wrong. Ridesh and me both, when we head out to people's houses and they're like, what do we make for you? And we're like, dal, bhindi, roti,
Yeah.
rice. Your aloo paratha is perfectly normal being cooked in oil. Your pohe is vegan. Your sabudana is vegan. Things that you grew up on are all by default vegan.
I think we don't realize
Yeah,
actually.
we don't realize and we complicate the term.
Vegetarian या vegan होने से बच्चे stunted हो जाते हैं. आप क्या कहेंगे?
I see my kids, they play hectically, they train hectically. And I honestly credit it to their diet. And very often people are like, what are you doing to your kids? Where's the protein coming? I said, my kids are fine. I check everything, or I do their tests.
So tell me about the brand Imagine Foods, because एक तो लोग meat eaters हैं जो सिर्फ मीट खाना चाहते हैं, दूसरे साइड पे वेजिटेरियंस हैं जिन्होंने मीट कभी खाया नहीं है. So then कौन खरीदेगा?
Well,
Hey guys, welcome to Kindness with Amy. Today I'm joined by the beautiful Janelia Deshmukh, who is an incredible actor. I'm sure you know her from her many Bollywood films. She is also an entrepreneur. She's the founder of Imagine Foods, which is a plant-based protein company. And she has been a champion for plant-based living and sustainable food choices in India. Welcome, Janelia.
thank you so much, Amy. Very happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Janelia, आप हमें बताइए, आप plant-based हैं. आपने मीट, डेयरी और अंडे खाना क्यों बंद किया?
No, मुझे लगता है I started off in during COVID और मुझे लगा कि this was a topic that was bothering me for a while, that am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? I had stepped away from having meat, but I was still having eggs and cheese and all of it. So, but it would keep. It wouldn't taste as great as I enjoyed it before.
Right.
And I felt somewhere down there it was my conscience telling me कि कुछ तो अलग है अभी, in life. So I took the call. I said, okay, let me try this out in COVID. Let me see how this goes, because I didn't want to get into a zone of it being a diet. I wanted it to be a lifestyle. I said, if I'm giving it up, it needs to be well thought of, well informed, and then I'm doing the right thing.
Of course.
So initially, when I did give it up, it was for my personal health. I wanted to feel better.
Right.
And I felt that it would make me feel better. But somewhere down the line, I've always been a dog lover and an animal lover, and I've always been a guilty animal lover, So somewhere down the line, this made it feel so much better that I was giving it up in totality, and everything that restricted me from being the best version of myself was now coming to play with me giving up a segment of my food that I thought I couldn't live without.
Wow. So you've grown up eating meat?
Meat, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So was there anything that got you over the line with that realization that meat is something that I don't want to have?
No, Amy, the strangest part that I sometimes, in fact, now when I think about it, it never bothered me then,
Really?
like it wasn't something that, like I remember there used to be these vans that move out with poultry, and I would see them and it didn't bother me then, And today I cannot look up. I look down in my car most often because I cannot look at it at all. So one thing, eventually I've come to understand that you just get used to certain things being okay, even if they're not.
Desensitized.
You just get desensitized. You would if you put some thought into it, but at that point in time, it feels like, oh my, this is what I want to eat, and this is luxury, and this is all of it. So I think that was me to be, and I'll be very honest about it. But today, I feel adapting to a plant-based lifestyle is the best thing I have ever done for myself.
Wow. Yeah. That's so interesting. Do you feel that your empathy as a person has increased since you've stopped consuming animal products? Because you know how you were saying कि वो thinking change हो गया. Like now when you see the chickens, you feel the hurt.
So I think the reason also for me for going plant based was the fact that I became a mom. You know,
Wow.
and when I became a mom, I like all moms, you don't want anything to touch your child, and you don't want anything to go wrong with your child. And then I started putting things into perspective and saying that I'm doing this to someone else's child.
Yes.
Whether it's an animal, whether it's not. I mean, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm living my life, you know. Like I remember an instance that really bothered me was I used to like cheek, karvas, basically the cholesterol. I used to make it like a sweet and eat it, and it used to be one of my most favorite things. And then I delivered my child, and the doctors would be like, the cholesterol is the best part of what you can give your child. And that hit me so hard because I said, here I was taking away another child's in like literally nutrition at that point in time when they're born. And I was okay with it because I had to satisfy my palate then. But today, when it comes to my child, I don't want anything to go wrong in that zone. So that hit me pretty hard.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So a lot of people say that veganism जो है ये एक concept है celebrity luxury lifestyle के लिए, और veganism बहुत elitist idea है, लेकिन आम आदमी के लिए ये
बिल्कुल
applicable नहीं
Yeah.
है. What are your thoughts about this?
I think it's nonsense. For starters, I don't see when we go out now, and Radesh and me both, when we head out to people's houses, and they're like, "What do we make for you?" And we're like, "Dal, bhindi, roti,
Yeah.
rice." They're like, "No, that's not what you have at parties." We're like, "Why? I mean, it's great food, and all of that is plant-based food, or it is vegan food."
Exactly.
There's nothing extra that you need to do. Your aloo paratha is perfectly normal being cooked in oil. Your pohe is vegan. Your sabudana is vegan. Things that you grew up on are all, by default vegan.
I think we don't realize
Yeah,
actually.
we don't realize, and we complicate the term.
Yeah.
I feel a lot more and so did I. Like when I decided to give up, the idea was that how do I get cheese? How do I get that? And eventually, I don't think I found the best substitute still. I don't think I have.
Cheese is like an ongoing life search for the vegan.
Yeah. But it's fine. I don't crave it anymore. I don't need it anymore. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think when people think of vegan now, वो सोचते हैं कि fancy Western ideas तो इतना महंगा होगा, and they don't think कि जो आप South Indian खाने में जाओ कि इतना मतलब literally mostly vegan, okay, and then so much of our North Indian खाना also, and I've grown up in a household जहाँ पे most of our खाना, without us even realizing, was by default vegan.
Yes, absolutely.
And so now when my family knows that I'm vegan, they're like, "Arey, vegan ho gaya." I'm like, "Nahin, aisa kuch nahi. It's nothing crazy. It's like very normal actually."
Absolutely.
But I think the term is just being used so much in negative contexts, right? So that tends to happen. And so I wanted to ask you, I mean, I see this comment come up a lot where people say that vegan hona bahut hi zyada extreme hota hai. What are your thoughts about that statement?
I did it pretty easily. I am a very happy vegetarian, very happy plant-based, living, very happy. My lifestyle is a choice of no dairy, no eggs, no meat, at all. And I'm a very, very happy person. But there could be people who sometimes find it difficult to give up ghee, sometimes find it difficult. I have heard instances. So I always tell someone, start doing it to the best of your ability and you'll figure it out. Like me, for one, I thought I could never live without cheese. Cheese was my weakness,
Me too.
Today, I don't even think about it, So I think it's a process of understanding, of acquiring a certain taste. Like today, if you give me a bowl of milk, I'll probably puke because I've not lived it for the last 7 years, right? In a similar way, someone who hasn't had the alternatives of milk,
Yeah.
if they have it today, they'll be like, oh, this is not what we're used to. So it's a decision to want to do it and then acquiring it to the best of your ability
Yeah.
and to your palate.
Absolutely.
Something that works for me may not work for you, but you can get everything made in a certain way and great food.
Absolutely. And you can do it to suit your budget.
Yes.
Like there's so much that I have learned over the years that you can make at home. Like we are able to make milk at home so easily actually. Obviously you can buy it. But ghar pe banana actually बहुत fun hota hai, and it's like an exploration with food. I actually find that having become plant-based, my world of food has opened up exponentially.
Me too. Me too.
compared to when you eat the four same dead animals again and
Yes,
again.
me
It's like now it's like there's my God, there's so much. And you get excited about food.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there's constantly a joke on me. So, so are you going to join us for a steak? And I'm like, yeah, tofu steak, maybe. And they're like, who eats tofu? I said, me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ridiculing your food, and I'm very open to the fact of being like it's your choice and you'll decide for yourself, but so will I, so don't ridicule my food. I'm very clear on those things.
Do people ridicule your food?
Yes, of course. They're like, "Oh, ye kya hai?" Then a lot of times for my kids, because my kids also they genuinely don't enjoy like anything creamy. Like there are times that they have gone for camps and they've not eaten, and I have to force them like, "ठीक है, कुछ तो खा लो," like at some point. But they don't enjoy that taste at all, And very often people are like, "Oh, what are you doing to your kids? Where's the protein coming?" I said, my kids are fine, because I check everything. I do their test. I'm not one to just go and say, okay, this is not good or that is not. I go to the bottom of it.
So India is a protein deficient country. Okay. But interestingly, over 70% of Indians eat meat.
Yes.
A lot of the time, vegetarianism is blamed for a lack of protein. And I wanted to know, as a founder of a plant-based protein company, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, I do think it's true that India is deficient in protein, and I do think that most of the non-vegetarians themselves don't know that they are probably the most deficient. Like when I first turned plant-based, a lot of people told me, "Oh, B12 is going out of the." I've been fine. My kids are fine. Pritesh is fine. But I hear a lot of people who are B12 deficient. So I do think that we do not know our food well enough. I do think. I mean, there's a lot of stories which go in to say, but hum log to bachpan se kha rahe hain. But I do think that we didn't give that extra thought into, measuring probably a dal or figuring out your matar. It's all there. It's just in quantities as to how you have. And that's where actually Imagine was born. Like the need was that we choose carb heavy foods, we choose. And it's not just vegetarians, it's even non-vegetarians. Like I have a couple of kids, my children play sport, and after their game, the first choice that will be given to them is a pizza, right? Now where is the protein? It's bad for health, forget that, but where is the protein? There is no protein, and that's always your choice. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I ate my egg in the morning. That's like 4 grams of protein. It's not going to be enough for the rest of the day. And I see most vegetarians actually turning to an vegetarian just because they feel that
trainer ne bola, doctor ne bola ki ande kha lo for your protein.
So the attempt at Imagine, and we started off with being a meat alternative company actually, but the attempt was to get vegetarian food also to be, high in protein. So today, I have made a version of a hara bhara kebab, which is my hara bhara protein.
This is the hara
yeah.
kebab.
So
I've never tried
yeah, so it has like almost 12 grams of protein into it, so the thing is, you learn your food better, you help people better. Our products don't have any palm oil, so we're just trying to do it to the best of our ability and help people who are vegetarian and who don't want to change for any trainer or for any reason that they are deficit. Having said that, I do think it's a lot to do with information. Nobody wants to learn. Everyone wants to blame. Everyone wants to blame a certain lifestyle, a certain way of doing it, not confident about yourself. I feel a lot of moms, in fact, we just start skipping one topic to the other, right? Like we just, okay, this someone else is doing, I'm going to give my child that. The child is not eating that, half the time. Like something as basic as chicky. Like people ask me, about protein bars and stuff like that. And I say, but chicky is protein, right? Like your peanut chicky half the time. For a child, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great snack.
It's a great snack.
Yeah.
So, and this is forgotten food. Like, I mean, today there's this whole revolution of millets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But an average home, Maharashtrian home, would eat what? Jowari, pitla, flaxseed as zavas, thetsa, which has your vitamin C. So I'm saying it's all there. It's just about understanding your food better and not making the wrong choices. Like I know so many, I'm going to talk about Maharashtra, for example. It's not a wheat-driven state, right? It's more a jawar state. It's more a rice state. But we will trade it for a roti in our homes, maybe because it's easier to make, But if we don't break the basics of eating that roti, you are eating millets by default. You're eating something that you were always taught to, So I think it's time to go back to the drawing board and understand that a lot of what you did before this whole revelation came about was just simple, good food.
I think that's the right word. It's just to keep it simple.
Yeah.
I think so much has been overcomplicated and also made confusing.
Yeah.
Because you have, like, I see all these influencers online. On one hand, you have people saying, and these are credible doctors, saying that almonds bure hai, mat khao, cashews mat khao, toxic hai, spinach mat khao, toxic hai, carrot toxic hai, human invention hai, toxic hai.
But meat is not toxic.
But meat is not toxic. Meat is healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that side, you have this, obviously, people paid by some meat lobbyists or whatever to push this agenda. Ki meat khao, vegetables mat khao, vegetables are bad. Like, oh my God. And then, you have, I've seen a lot of other influencers here in India that are putting this agenda that you have to have animal protein to be healthy. And it's very interesting that this is a narrative that has become quite prominent in India now that I'm seeing. Ki we have to have whey protein, and also this protein thing that has come in the last however long. Ki you have to have protein powder, you have to have whey-based protein, animal-based protein for the bioavailability, and veg mein kami hai, and all of this. And this idea has been really pushed heavy in the last few years.
Yeah.
And I'm always really curious about what does the next 10 years look like in India? And I wanted to know from your perspective, especially from a plant-based foods perspective, where do you see India heading?
No, I think everyone's doing their bit and everyone's realizing in a good way to start cutting. I hope, at least. I don't know the stats,
Yeah.
but at least
One can hope.
yeah, I hope that it's heading in a way that we always knew it. We are primarily a vegetarian state, and that's why today all over the world an Indian diet is recommended most often. Because either it's cooked, either it's and so. I'm saying this whole thing of being influenced doesn't really need to happen.
Yeah.
When you talk about, non-vegetarian and vegetarian food, if you put it down to the drawing board, people say have a chunk of meat, and you get all your protein. And in vegetarian, you don't get all of it. Which in basic English language, it could be true.
Yeah.
But the point is, you're never supposed to eat a chunk of meat. I mean, that's where everything goes wrong, right? Because there's no fiber, there's excess fat, there's this brutality, this cruelty, there's all the other things that you are actually consuming.
You have to look at it in its totality.
I mean, that's what a balanced diet is. We've stopped understanding the meaning of a balanced diet, whether we're non-vegetarian or whether we're vegetarian. Even as a vegetarian, you can't eat only a bowl of dal. It's not meant to be eaten that way. Food is not meant to be eaten that way. I mean, you'd probably say my kids can have 3 bowls of rice. I can have 1. But that doesn't mean that I can't, right? Like, so I just, and I honestly feel there's a little thought that you need to put into your food, and it is an investment in yourself. So why not? You know, I urge moms, like when people say, "What do your kids have in the morning?" I sometimes try to think that why is everyone so obsessed that their child hasn't had, the right stuff in the morning? I mean, if you break down your meals where you know your protein well enough, or you want to know your protein well enough, your carbs well enough, you'll figure it out. You don't need to get into every detail. And there's this whole talk that people keep putting across the table that food is not supposed to be counted and spoken about. But then don't accuse food, is my next answer to them. I'm saying someone like me, I feel that I'm in a position where I may not know it totally unless I count it. So on my plate, I like knowing okay, 100 grams of tofu is this many grams of protein, or like one roti is this. I like knowing it. I follow a whatever 1500 calorie diet or whatever. That's my way of knowing it. Maybe someone else may close their eyes and they know it, which is great. But there's a large section that just doesn't know it. So I feel people who advocate should advocate for information, not advocate against information or not put out excess information. And I think that's extreme. It's information overload sometimes, or it's just harming the right kind of information as well.
I feel like this is a bit of a human condition, though, to be challenged by something that challenges your way of thinking.
Yes.
Because to have the openness to different ideas, different ways of thinking, different information, a lot of people feel that they're attacked by that.
Yes.
And, I saw this the other day. So I was with my mom and some friends, and the topic of plant-based came up. Okay, now everyone sitting there except me has diabetes.
Yep,
Okay.
precisely. Yeah.
Everyone, and also overweight. Okay, and they're all sitting there talking about health, being like, but plant-based is processed and unhealthy, and eating dairy and all this stuff is like really healthy and blah blah blah.
Yeah, you get
And I'm
strong
sitting
bones.
there, you get strong bones. I'm sitting there like, Amy, don't just leave it. Just chore though. There's no point.
Yeah.
Because even if I do point out that India's number one killer is heart disease, cause of heart disease, saturated fat.
Absolutely.
India's the number one consumer of dairy, saturated fat. Hello, there's the connection. Like, we need to be having more whole food, plant-based foods. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't mean you have to eliminate dairy if you don't want to. You have to eliminate meat. You just have to reduce your consumption of animal products. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
And even when people have this whole claim around natural whatever, even when we have like evolved over, thousands and thousands of years, it has been as scavengers who have had little bits of meat, right? For survival, actually. So from a health perspective, it's like we are behaviorally omnivorous. And so we can have little bits of meat here and there because that's how we've, evolved. But the point is that because we're more anatomically geared towards favoring being herbivorous, we thrive when we don't have those products. And we can see that in the outcome data.
Yeah.
And, I say to my mom, I'm like, there's a reason why hospitals in so many places, like in Lebanon, there's a completely plant-based hospital. In the US, in New York, so many hospitals are plant-based by default. There's a reason why the medical community understands that plant-based actually reverses disease.
Yes.
And so, we have to realize that that's not, and she's like, nahi, but plant-based, ye sab hai bahut Western wo hai. I'm like, nahi mom, ye hamara Indian hai, sab normal jo hum khate hain ghar pe, as we were talking about before. So there's just so many misconceptions I feel
And it's a choice. Like, I feel it's a choice to be misinformed.
Yeah.
It's a choice because you enjoy doing it a certain way. You don't want to be told. And I've honestly, like, I think initially as a person also, I've changed from that whole zone of, telling people to making great food. See, most often what happens, people make terrible food and then they blame it on plant-based being bad. Like, I'm like, if a meal is not well thought about, like if, for example, if you tell me, I've made this watermelon feta salad for you, but just take out the feta and have it. It's not a great meal that's
like a
prepared,
terrible
right? Yeah, that's a
experience.
terrible experience. And then people will try it and be like, "Ah, this is crap." But if you have someone who thinks about it, and I'm seeing your latte and wanting one right
Exactly.
now, right? And like if it's thought through, and like I've had this experience where my friends are all carnivores. They're all non-vegetarian, but they come to my house and they only ask for plant-based food. They only ask for plant-based food. For me, that's a big high.
That's
right?
amazing.
That's a big high because it goes down to show that it's good food that should speak, right? Like it's great food that should speak. And that's in your hand. That's in your hand to make it well. Like my kids' friends come over and everyone is like, oh, you don't have it this way, you don't have it that way. And I'm like, I'll give you everything. That you're ever used to, right? Because I have nuggets. I mean, in fact, probably the nuggets that you're having are full of palm oil. Like here, whatever I put on the packet is what my kids have. So I go with a conscience that is clear. I know it's not kale and it's not a salad and it's not stuff like that, but it's high in protein and it's the best attempt at having fun food, right? So I feel that little bit of effort as a plant-based community you need to put in as well. You go out of your way, and I go out of my way when when I plan. My office, my set is totally vegetarian. Like I don't have any meat, no eggs on it. If there's someone who wants to have it, you're more than welcome to have it by getting your dabba. On my side, it won't be cooked over there. People were like, how do you do it? Don't people grumble? I'm like, no, it's my choice. It's my home. Like, I'll make the best food over there. Like, and I make sure that, my set food, I make sure that it's good food. I make sure in the office that people are comfortable. That's all you need. And honestly, I don't even feel non-vegetarian. There's always a fight. And I've said this on various interviews that I've given. I'm like, most vegans turn activists, which is not, I know you are one, but it's not a bad thing. And most non-vegetarians turn dietitians. But the point is we never reach the mid ground then. We never help people understand or change or even if they want to, they go the other route because and it's human nature, right? If you're told not to do something that you like doing, you're not gonna listen to it. So I feel there's a way of going out there and doing it, and kindness will always win. I feel eventually it'll take some time. I mean, I'm an example of being from a place where I didn't even eat. I ate eggs in the morning, I ate meat in the afternoon, I ate fish in the night. That was pretty much my palate. Like to a place where I don't touch it today. So I think if someone like me could do it, I know there are a zillion people. I know my non-vegetarian friends make the best plant-based food when I go to their house, because it comes from a place of love and they want to. There'll be 500, non-vegetarian dishes, but when they make it for us, they've put in so much of love and effort, and that's all you need. Like eventually you see everyone heading towards this table more than the other table just because they enjoy it. So I've come to this realization that let's grow together, let's figure it out. Like today, if a mom comes to me and asks me questions about Imagine or about my lifestyle, I'll be more than happy to give it in writing to them. I see my kids, like my kids are really thin, right? And by definition, if they're only eating carbs, they should be really heavy and big and, whatever else. And they play hectically, they train hectically, And I honestly credit it to their diet. Like I honestly credit, because I see every other child waking up so groggy, so tired, and I've not seen a day of that happen in my home. I haven't seen that. So there's probably something that's right about this, and I'm happy to share it. And I know a couple of mums in our school who are still not, who are on that cusp of wanting to and not wanting to. But they are moving towards this direction more than the other.
Got it.
And then there's an irresponsible statement that comes about somewhere and say that you're never going to be strong. I mean, let's face facts. You're never going to be strong if you're not plant-based. And the whole attention gets it. So I think you're responsible for what you say. Like, for example, me, I feel I'm my strongest and I lift 100 kgs. I'm genuinely stronger being plant-based than I ever was being non-vegetarian.
You know, I was reading a statistic that a human is 70% more likely to adopt a change in behavior with positive reinforcement, right? And I think that is so true. Like, for me, when I was a non vegetarian, I was very put off by vegetarians and vegans. This whole concept,
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Preachy, annoying, up themselves, moral superiority, all of it. You know, and so I've learned over the years through my own learnings that it's okay to have your opinion and believe what you believe, but you share with people the joys of food.
Yeah.
You perform well as a person, you know, you be healthy, you be strong. So you become an example of healthy living and make it desirable.
Yes,
Then
absolutely.
people want to be a part of it. So I really believe that that's something that, you have a food brand, I have a cafe, and that's something that is very intrinsic in the positioning, that it's not the vegan that we want to appeal to. It's the meat eater. You know, and to make food fun, make food interesting.
Make the space fun, make food fun,
Exactly.
make it easy. Like my whole thought was today, people say do everything at home, you know, do it. And of course, that's ideally what we should be doing, right? Like we should be making our oils, we should be making but sometimes it's damn tough on a mom, you know, who's trying to do it also. You try and give food to the best of your ability. Right, like, or you try and give food to the best of your ability. Like you have a cafe, like you said. I have a food brand. You do it to the best of your ability, and like for me, I have an extremely loyal customer base. Right, like they call me every Monday. Once they start, it's extremely loyal, and it hasn't changed. Imagine it's 3 years old, while the whole world said that this whole movement is dying down. We're still standing. We're still figuring out
Yeah, that's
life.
very
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
there are tough days because it's not easy. It's not easy some days, but on the whole, you're thriving because of the love of all these people who come back to you. Like today, I have a stall at the Winter Wonderland at Hamleys. I'm sold out every day. So I realized it was about giving them the experience. You know, it's about going there, cooking it, figuring it out, how to present it better.
So tell me about the brand Imagine Foods, because from where I sit, I've had investors tell me when it comes to alternative proteins in India, tell me things that, like for example, India में alternative protein कैसे चलेगा? क्योंकि एक तो लोग मीट ईटर्स हैं जो सिर्फ मीट खाना चाहते हैं, दूसरे साइड पे वेजिटेरियंस हैं जिन्होंने मीट कभी खाया नहीं है. So then कौन खरीदेगा plant-based protein?
No, that is, I mean, and that's true. It's like, see, for me, it was someone who wants to adapt a plant-based lifestyle, or it was someone who is looking out for their protein. So hence, I moved away from only being a meat alternative company because I wanted to be a protein, high company eventually. But I don't think that is right. I think it's a little delayed in India, but it will eventually catch up in India.
Absolutely. And we can see that shift happening.
Yes.
You know, India obviously adopts what's happening internationally here, right? And we're in that growth phase right now.
And today, like I've heard people come up to me and say, like vegetarians, we can travel in peace around the world because of the vegans and because every cafe, every restaurant has something that is, pure. I mean, they would name it probably as vegetarian or plant-based, but in totality, it is what a vegan lifestyle, vegan consumer wants, right? So, and I remember people packing theplas and all to now having that ease of being able to eat all over the world, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's growing at an amazing rate. So, एक नहीं, बहुत सारे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं जो कहते हैं कि अगर बच्चे डेयरी मीट और अंडे ना खाएं तो वो stunted होंगे.
Yeah.
And this is why vegetarian बच्चे, vegan बच्चे, plant-based बच्चे are weaker
Yeah.
than meat eating या dairy consuming बच्चे.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's I don't think it's fair to say that. I genuinely don't think it's fair to say that because you need to be responsible about what you're saying and when you're saying. I mean, of course, if you have facts, fair, but then let someone who has their facts also present it to you.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be because you're the louder voice that you win versus someone else, right? I am hoping that eventually this whole thing will come to show that it's important to be a certain way.
Yeah.
It like constipation is one of the biggest problems in children. And I don't
Really?
know, yes, I don't know whether enough of moms talk about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when your kids are younger, we are told that it's okay that they don't have a bowel movement for 2 to 3 days. You know, we are told these things. But the point is that eventually there's less fiber in your child's diet.
हाँ, तो ये normal कैसे है अगर बच्चा bathroom नहीं जा रहा है तो?
So, I mean, these things, if you just sit at home and figure it out and understand, you'll understand that you may not know it. And I always say that every mom is doing it to the best of their ability. It may not be my way, it may not be some other one's way, but they're doing it. But I'm saying sometimes it's important to seek information rather than just go into information overload.
Absolutely.
Like question it.
Yeah.
Question it in totality. Like if you're telling me that, one egg is 4 grams of protein. I mean, just the egg white, right? If you're telling me it's 4 grams of protein, I'll tell you, yeah, 2 seeds of hemp, 2 tablespoons of hemp seed is 6 grams of protein.
Yeah.
I'll give you the fact straight up
The equivalent.
there. Yeah, the
Or if
equivalent.
not better,
yeah,
actually.
if not better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point is, no one is saying that.
Yeah.
No one is sitting there and saying, yeah, while I guess your eggs are great, but so is this one. And then moms ask me, very often, ki, how can they eat it like that? Plain. I said, don't let them eat it like that. Put it into your atas, put it into your dals, put it into anything.
Exactly.
You
घर
know?
पे we make a 7-pulse chilla.
Yeah.
The amount of protein in that chilla is
Me
insane.
too. I make my own protein shake at home for my kids. So I put down the thing.
Yeah.
I say, just have this one. They love it. I love it. As a mom, I feel sorted that every meal has its protein. And while I think we've gone crazy about it, I do think it's important to give this some thought, especially where growing kids are concerned. And it's not difficult, is all I would say. It's actually things that they like the most. Like if you see, parties outside, or like children parties, it's either the dosa kona that works like magic,
Yeah.
or it's either the pasta kona that works like magic. Pasta kona, in every mom's head also, she doesn't want to send the child there, right? Like she doesn't want. She'll be like, eat the dosa.
Huh.
So what are you eating? You're eating a plant-based lifestyle eventually, right?
Without realizing.
Yeah, without realizing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
so it is what it is. And we go,
Yeah. Do you find it hypocritical when people say that they love animals but then they eat them?
see, I was one of those. I honestly were one of them. And I didn't think I was hypocritical today. And my son actually opened my eyes and said, you can't say you love flesh and eat a chicken, So, so that just put things into perspective as to how I was being hypocritical, and I thought I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's a matter of accepting. कि नहीं यार, शायद I'm wrong. शायद I can make this place better.
Yeah. So this January, there is a thing called Veganuary, where people can, maybe if they've sort of been interested in plant-based, maybe they want to try being plant-based or at least introduce more plant-based options into their diet. They can play around with it and learn more. If someone has been sort of on the edge and is open to this, what is your one piece of advice for them if they wanted to participate in Veganuary?
No, I definitely think it's a great idea. Something that you put, and by default, I mean, apart from veganuary, we also have Shravan. We also have Lent.
Of course,
you know.
yes.
where you don't eat non-veg. So it's not like your body isn't used to it. You may crave it after those many days, but maybe because you didn't plan the month well enough, So you plan to eat the best food, therefore. You do a little homework, do a little research, is what I say. So you know how your week is going to look like, right? Like I have a friend who is a pure non-vegetarian, but she's extremely close to my kids. And every time my son's birthday is in November, so every time she asks him, "What do I get you?" He says, "This January turn vegan for me." He says that. So she says, "Okay, I can't do veganary, but I'll do vegetarian." For me, it's already a win, right?
Anything, like 10%, 20%, anything is a positive step in the right direction, right? I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the most important thing that you have learned in your lifetime?
Well, what have I learned in my lifetime? I've learned to not give things that don't matter to you too much thought, and I've learned to give things that matter to you.
I thought you were going to say something else completely different right then.
Yeah.
So I've learned not to give an F.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much there. But no, I've just learned there's too much time spent over people, over things, over ambition that doesn't really get you anywhere. I think you are your best investment. You figure what's good for you. Even if the whole world is crashing, it's not selfish. It's just being like I tell my kids very often, I'm like, if I'm a happy mom, I guarantee you I'll be better with you,
Wow.
And I honestly think these are steps that one needs to take for themselves. I'm a victim of not doing it myself very often. Like, if it's a busy day for the kids, I'll always choose their schedule over mine. But thankfully, I have a supportive husband. I have supportive kids who stand there and say, "No, you take your time. We'll be fine." So I think that's extremely important that one realizes what is lacking, what is growing them, and what is making them get a little more sensitive. I think we live in a world today. Like my question to my kids very often is, how was your day? Oh, it's great. What did you do? Did the teacher compliment you? Is what I was taught, right? Like this is how you take the conversation ahead. But somewhere down the line, I feel we stop asking them, how was your lunch table? Were you with the child that was alone? Or were you the child that was alone and didn't have, people around you? So I feel people say that empathy cannot be taught. It can. I honestly feel it can. It's not taught, it's just realization. Every human being does have that. It's about realizing which way it should go,
Absolutely. That's a really good point you made about empathy, actually. That something I've been thinking about. Robin from People Farm? Okay. People Farm basically is an animal hospital in Dharamshala. They do amazing work. And I was having a chat to him. I feel that, in school, we're never taught things like critical thinking, empathy, kindness, compassion, and I would love it if that is something that was introduced as like curriculum-based stuff, even though there's no like actual tangible outputs, but it's more that you start instilling this as a normality because then as they
it is happening. I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean, at least in our school, my kids go to Ascend. Yeah. My kids go to Ascend International, and this is a topic of discussion very often.
Really?
Yes. And children are brought up, children are spoken to, children are questioned. It's their thought process is questioned. They're a bit, and they always choose, the environment. They choose stuff like that. That's amazing.
We need more of that.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, sometimes me and Ritesh certain think that I wish we had this all.
I was just thinking that because I never had something like that in my school. I mean, that is something that I would love to see in a bigger scale, especially with kids thinking and being told that to think differently or, Okay, so before we wrap up, I have a couple of comments that people have made and I would love your reactions to the same. Okay, so they are in Hindi. You can respond in English if you wish. First one. सेलिब्रिटीज के लिए तो ठीक है लेकिन आम आदमी के लिए veganism possible नहीं है, बहुत expensive है.
No, it's not true. I mean, obviously it's not true, but It depends on what is your definition of veganism is something that I would like to ask the person who's asked that question to.
And as we sort of said before, so many things that are normal in our diet, dal, chawal, sabji, roti, South Indian khana, बहुत सारा North Indian खाना जो हम खाते हैं is already vegan. And that is not more expensive than butter chicken.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rajma chawal
Yeah,
is cheaper than having chicken.
absolutely.
Okay, next one. कुछ डॉक्टर्स बोलते हैं वीगन हेल्थी है, कुछ डॉक्टर्स बोलते हैं कि बुरा है. कैसे पता चले कौन सा सही है?
I think this point is true. There were many doctors who say that it is, healthy. See, again, what happens if today you turn around and say, I want to be vegan, and you're only eating bread, then there is a problem, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're accepting it as a a wholesome plant-based diet, and you're accepting it for what it speaks about, then there has to be a positive in it.
Absolutely. And I think on a very base level, nutrition is about nutrients, not ingredients.
Yes.
And so if you understand कि okay, मुझे इतना protein खाना चाहिए, इतना ये खाना चाहिए,
Yeah.
the base level, whether you're getting that from animal protein
Yeah.
or plant protein, it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
As long as you're getting the nutrients. एंड आई थिंक लोगों को एफर्ट नहीं करना है जानने के लिए, बस डॉक्टर ने बोल दिया तो बस ये डॉक्टर का भी उतना ट्रेनिंग नहीं होता है न्यूट्रिशन को लेके. आई एम सॉरी टू से फॉर सम ऑफ द डॉक्टर्स वाचिंग दिस, बट so I feel that is where it comes into question everything, and do your own research, use some common sense, never just take one person's opinion as the Holy Bible, Okay, let's see. लोग बोलते हैं वेजिटेरियन या वीगन होने से बच्चे स्टंटेड हो जाते हैं. आप क्या कहेंगे?
I've actually never heard this, strangely, but I would like to understand why someone said this. For me, I think it doesn't work.
I think there was some study a while back where they had like two groups of children or something, and one group of children was given dairy milk and another group of children was not. Okay. The children that had the dairy milk appeared to have better height or something, or healthier or something. But my question of that study is, were the other children given enough protein?
Yeah.
Because TK, you're giving them the milk, but that is protein, na?
Yeah.
So, was it a fair test?
No.
What was being given? And as far like I've talked to a couple of my doctor friends, they've told me that height has nothing to do with protein.
Yes.
It's to do with genetics.
That's the reason why it bothers me that someone's saying something.
Exactly. It's like, yeah. So it doesn't even make sense. Okay, last one. Plant-based meat बहुत processed होता है. मैं कभी नहीं खाऊंगा.
I mean, it depends on what you feel. I honestly feel that everything is processed in life. Like, it is.
Yeah.
Choose your best. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. If it's helping you in various ways and the way to make you feel better, to get your protein better, or have a reliable brand, then you figure it out.
Absolutely. And I've been seeing studies, and we'll link it in this chat, comparing plant-based meat outcome data to actual meat outcome data, and plant-based meat wins every time in terms of health outcomes. So when the people that are saying that plant-based meat khana processed hai are the same people who Friday ko jaake pizza khayenge, burger khayenge, meat khayenge, dairy piyenge. Ye sab processed nahi hai, sab processed hai. Right? So it comes down to, even agar hum modern lifestyle mein process kha rahe hain, we have to look at उसमें क्या है, वो कैसे बना है, and what are my health outcomes from eating this.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you on that.
So if people want to try Imagine Foods, how can they purchase it? How can they buy it?
We're on most platforms. We have our link, which is imaginefoods.com, and you should go and should figure it out for yourselves. I'd be happy to entertain any questions that one has in this area and this zone. I do think we make products with a lot of love. I mean, it may work for some, it may not work for some. That's a choice, and but the intent of the brand is to give you higher protein, to give you something that cuts off everything that's that you yourself want to cut off.
Yeah.
And is laced with kindness.
I love that. Well, on that note, wishing everyone a very happy Christmas. We have filmed this on Christmas Day.
imagine.
Hence the Christmas decorations, of
Yes,
course.
yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you
Thank you so much.